VoiceBox Media Group. VoiceBox Media Group. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're super excited to be back for another amazing interview on VoiceBox Radio. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe right now. We have an amazing guest today, as always. We're super excited to have him in the building. We're super excited about everything that's happening in 2026. Please make sure you're following us. We have so many good things happening. And don't forget, our anniversary is on the 31st. Our 2-year anniversary. We were super excited.
Bang. Yes, 2 years. 2 years operational. We work hard to get here.
Very hard.
We work really hard. We got a platform. We got headquarters, business cards and stuff. Doing things.
And not to mention our LLC.
Yes.
And our
501c3, our nonprofit. Mission VoiceBox. And then the merch division is coming soon. Thank you. BMG merch. We're going to start with announcements. Don't get tired of announcements. We're going to do it every episode, even if we do 2 in a row. Oh, by the way, partner, how's it feel to do 2 episodes in a row? This is like our third time doing this.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to it, to be honest. I'm super excited to provide the platform for all the leaders, entrepreneurs, anyone in the community with a mission, goal, or purpose. That's what we're here for.
Bang, bang.
You are able to have creative freedom here. Please join VoiceBox Media Group. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get into our announcements.
Yes, give us an excuse to switch seats. But first, we're going to start with Just Jessie Cleaning Services. Shout out to Just Jessie. I couldn't say anything more good about her and her work ethic and her dedication. She's one of the new members we added. We added 4 new members recently. Jessie is one of them. Shout out to Just Jessie Cleaning Services, deep cleaning, weekly maintenance, home organization, and post-construction. If you're having events, she'll come set up and break it down for you.
There you go.
Shout out to Just Jessie. Contact her, 609-501-6907. And then into Bang Hoodies for the Hopeful.
Hoodies for the Hopeful.
We are still running the hoodie drive. We partnered with Code Blue. We did a drop-off last week. We're pushing to get them to come in for an interview so they can actually, so that we can give you more information on what they're doing. But in the meantime, we're here, 610 East Landis Avenue. Hoodies, jackets, gloves, hats, anything that the less fortunate can benefit from, you can drop them off here and we'll make sure that it's distributed. 610 East Landis Avenue, 3rd floor. Miracle Kids Learning Academy. Shout out to Evangelist Tracy. She is a wonderful individual. Check out Miracle Kids Learning Academy. They're located at 586 Helper Street, Millville, New Jersey, which is the Rosenhain area. They provide childcare services. Hours of operation are from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that after-school program, that's something you guys are looking for. They accept childcare subsidies, and just check them out. Miracle Kids Learning Academy. Yes, and lastly but not leastly, February 1st, Just Nice Sneaker Convention, Sneaker and Trading Card Convention across the street, Violent Convention Center. Pull up, man. VCC got a lot going on. You local entrepreneurs, business owners, creatives, tap into the convention center. We have a convention center in Violent in Cumberland County. Take advantage of it. I can't say no much more about that.
Absolutely. And if you are interested in hearing your advertisement right here on VoiceBox Radio, please feel free to reach out to us. We are doing advertisements. If you need your event to get put out there, and some information, please feel free to drop us your information. Let us know you want to advertise. VoiceBox Media Group coming to you live on VoiceBox Radio.
Bang, bang.
Right. I got to do it myself.
Nope.
No.
I'm saying,
you gotta do it yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys so that
exactly.
when you do the shows, you can.
Yes.
Sure,
Yep.
But without further ado,
we have a special guest in there. Bang, bang. Cumberland County's very own. We love shining the light, giving flowers to local entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We have Bebe Cruz here today. If y'all don't know him, y'all should know him. I Plug, I Ride, The Draft. He's one of the hardest workers in Cumberland County over the past, I don't want to say 5 to 10 years. He's been getting to it.
Appreciate it.
I see him on my timeline and it was like a no-brainer, like why I didn't reach out to him earlier. So I shot him a message. He responded quickly, set a date. Now he's here in the building. Just take a little bit of time. And he came bearing gifts. So when he got here, he made a post stating that he was about to start his interview, but he also included that he's doing a $100 giveaway. So we decided to just do a simple guessing number. Anybody that's paying attention to this interview right now that's on this post, drop a number in the chat, a number between 1 and 50, and that you have a chance to win $100 like that. So that's awesome. This is our first official giveaway here on VoiceBox Radio, and we ain't had to give nothing away. But we appreciate you, bro, for coming in. Please let the people know a little bit about yourself, how you got started.
They are coming
and
through,
some they dropping numbers.
Getting a lot of love, a lot of likes right now. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Drop that right number. You're gonna get that $100.
There we go.
Yeah. Hometown
It's
hero.
an easy 100. Easy 100. Make sure.
But yes, let the people know. Introduce yourself. Tell them about your brand, your businesses, anything you got going on now, and then we'll get into like your history and stuff like that.
Like a lot of y'all know, my name is Bebe Cruz. You know, I operate iPlug Repair Center. We got 3 locations. One is in Violin, the other one's in Millville, one is in Bridgeton. Other thing I got going on right now is the I Ride Now. You know, we're trying to give Uber and Lyft a run for their money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trying to, I love getting in here and breaking chains. So whatever I see that, is being monopolized and things like that, that's what attracts me to get in there and break those chains from these big dogs out there.
Absolutely. Was business always something that you plan on getting into? Was you always like entrepreneurial minded,
always.
or was that part of your background, your upbringing, or what led you to that?
Always, man. I didn't know it until I knew it. And so basically, I could never keep a regular job. I didn't know why. I had a problem with authority over me. So I always got into arguments and, almost physical fights, getting fired and things like that with managers. And I never got along, I'll make it clear, nothing wrong with cops. I respect the police and I'm all for that kind of stuff. But I have a problem with people who overstep their boundaries.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in the world we live in,
it happens, especially in the
police do it all the time. I have no problem with them doing their job, but you have those few bad apples that they take the badge and they feel like they're, they run the planet. But it's no different with a manager in a store. You get on the manager label and they think they run the store.
Forget that.
And they think that you have to do everything they say, and they overstep their boundaries, and it's a power grab. And I just never been good with those kind of things. So I've always gotten in trouble with cops that were like that. I've always gotten in trouble with managers that were like that. So I can never keep a job. And
nothing against the workforce. Yeah, it's nothing against the workforce. I got a job. I work 3 days a week, but some people aren't built to just punch a clock. Honestly,
I can't.
Yeah, some people are really not built to company. So that's how you figured out that you were.
I knew it wasn't for me.
Yeah, what made you do the transition into business? Was it something that fell in your lap, or you actually went out and did your research and kind of? What was your first?
There's this opportunity I had got. So I always knew that I wanted to, open up a business. I just never knew how to do it. It's like you have all the good ideas, but you don't know how to put it together. You don't have the resources, and you don't understand how to get. You have it's like having an alphabet, but you don't know how to put it together. You know what I'm trying to say?
Gotcha.
So there was this place I was doing Chinese deliveries, and I went to go deliver behind. I was on Landis. And they were on Elmer, and I walked to go do it. And this young guy stops me and says, "Hey, what you doing?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just about to deliver the Chinese food." He had a Verizon shirt on, and he tells me, "Okay, well, are you interested in kind of doing this?" And I'm like, "Well, I owe Verizon some money, so maybe you can help me out." I was trying to get my Verizon cable back on at the time, and I'm like, I owe them money, and I think they're trying to play me. That they're sending me 2 bills, and it doesn't make sense. They billed me 2 different times. Can you help me with that? He's like, "Absolutely." He pulled out the tablet. They go door to door. I didn't know this at the time. Ironically, there's an actual Verizon building like right next to that, where me and him at and stuff. So he pulls the tablet out and he tries to run my credit and all that, and I get denied because obviously I owe a bill. And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I can't really help you." So the whole time he was just trying to sell me and not help me. So his name was Kevin. If you see this, Kevin, I'm saying the truth. I'm telling you what it is.
Kevin.
But it's funny because I'm like, "Hey man, but what do you do then?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll go door to door." And then we kind of, started talking a little bit for about 5 minutes, and he's like, "Yo, this is how much I make. If you want to do it, it's a program, 6 to 18 months. You can get your own business from doing it. We train you. You go do it." He kind of broke it down, and I'm like, "You talking my language? Owning a business. You said the right stuff." So he took my information and things like that, and I did the program. I did it. It was 6 to 8 months. I ended up doing for 2 years. I killed it. I was in there. There was a millionaire. Dude's a multi-millionaire. I ended up running his whole office for him in Cherry Hill. Literally, I ran the whole office. But that's what the resources, what I learned there. I learned a lot of things there that, that didn't work out. But what I learned from there, it was almost like going to college or something in a sense, for free. And
you
you
take
put in your time.
information.
But that's those things that I learned there opened up my mind to put everything together, to actually open up a business and run it. So
what was your first business venture that you actually went out on the limb and said, this is what I'm going to invest in?
My first one ever? Would be iCell.
Okay.
I did it with, rest in peace to Joe. A lot of people know him. Joe Gonzalez is like a brother to me, We got into it and we kind of said, let's do this. I'm going to sell phones. He was going to fix them. And we kind of merged together. And I actually met him through that business I'm telling you about, the door-to-door. It was door-to-door, the Verizon. A lot of people, I used to go knock on doors. And if you had Comcast, I'm trying to switch you over to Files. So I had actually personally recruited him into my team, and he was great, just like me. So we became brothers in that. It didn't work out for us, but we actually in the back end kind of did our own thing. And we opened up what was called iCell right on Landis. And we started the phone stuff. That's how we first started with that. We just jumped into it and did it,
What did you learn, like, right off the bat, as soon as you got in the business? What's something that stuck out to you that you learned that was different than actually working for somebody?
Opening iCell, iPlug was different, man. But iCell, it was tough. It was hard for me and him. It was tough. We had all the expectations in the world, and when you open and you're there all day and you paint it, you put everything together and you open up the store and nobody walks in the whole day. You make no money, and it's kind of draining.
Still got to pay the rent. Rent still got to get paid.
Your rents due. All the money you put into it, you ain't gonna get it back. We sat there and we sat there, and honestly, the first store we opened, it was a bust. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that's what kind of that can cause also problems. So what I learned from that is kind of you still have to stay persistent no matter what.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm trying to say?
The consistency.
Yeah, and you don't let it get in between what you got. If you're doing especially a partnership,
it can be heavy on partnerships.
You can't let those things get in between, and you know what I'm trying to say. So
when stuff goes wrong,
it's a tough situation.
Especially business is lively.
Yeah, especially with someone who's like your brother. He was definitely like my brother at the time. So we kind of had a fallout over that. But, so rest in peace to him, man.
What did you learn from the first we'll say the failure of iCell versus going into opening up iPlug? What did you do differently?
Well, the thing is, in the beginning, it was a failure with iCell, but it wasn't a failure overall.
I
definitely, it was up there. It was no different.
We'll say obstacles,
So we got over it easily, but certain other things happened and things like that. But iCell definitely, it went up there. It went. Yeah, but there was a fallout between me and him, so I ended up getting my own brand separately. So, so opening iPlug wasn't like opening iCell because it was already established. I was established in a sense as a person, as a brand,
business,
right?
Yes,
right. So when you look at Walmart, you can't put a person behind Walmart like an owner, right? But when you look at iPlug and things like that, you can put me. Yeah, you have a person to actually
access,
right? You know what I'm trying to say? So. A Walmart or any of these big corporations.
So you were basically the face of your brand, and that's what kind of drove it.
Right. Yeah. So people hear Bebe, to them that's the brand. I'm trying to push iPlug, but people say Bebe.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. So I'm basically the brand, and then people view me like if you go to Walmart, they open up a Walmart anywhere. You're like, oh my God, there's a Walmart coming. You know what I'm trying to say?
Nah, you open iPlug, it's Bebe.
Right.
It's Bebe. Right. So that makes sense. What did you do differently with iPlug than you did with iCell?
I really didn't do nothing.
Same way I operated.
Kept everything the same way. Didn't change literally nothing. Nothing. Was I wish I never had to, but these things happen, man.
Yeah, and it's okay for transition. It's okay to go out on your own. It's okay to branch off. As long as you're doing it the right way, building the foundation, creating a space, and running with it.
Right.
That's exactly what we see. Each idea that you brought out. You literally explained what it was and rolled it out. I've never seen so much action in a little amount of time than what you do for our community. For sure,
I appreciate it. Absolutely.
What are some things you've done over the past few years that you're proud of that you can hang your hat on? It could be events. I know you had the draft. We can go into that a little bit.
The draft, man.
Yeah, the draft.
It's got to be. Honestly, the iRide right now, it's really. I just, I'm 2 months in, but I've been working. A lot of people don't know that I've been working on iRide for 9 months. It's new to a lot of people 2 months in, but for me, it's not because I'm the one creating. I'm the one who had to create the website. From the ground up, everything on my own.
Okay.
But I've been working on it for about 8 to 9 months, literally. But
that's like us. When we say we're coming up on 2 years, they be like 2 years.
You just found out about
right. So
so
a lot of people don't understand until it becomes like what they call it a trend or whatever. What they think it's new, but it ain't new to us in the background when we're out here growing the roots, because the roots are not meant to be seen. You know what I'm trying to say? That's the whole point. When you're growing a tree, you don't see the roots. You only see when the tree blossoms. So,
yes, sir.
The roots are private.
Yeah, it's not an overnight success.
Right. But definitely the draft. The draft would be. I'm proud. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of what I accomplished.
I was doing numbers over there, man.
Ding, 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 ding. We got a winner.
Somebody picked the number.
Somebody picked the number.
The exact number.
The exact number.
That was fast.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We had so many people tuning in, dropping their numbers. Thank you for all the love. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
They said $100.
Everyone's on here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for participating. We do finally have a winner.
Who won? 17
Lydia. Shout out to Lydia. Hey, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Damn, Lydia, you gonna make it seem bad.
You are the winner of the competition.
That's Lydia.
Of the contest.
That's funny.
Shout out to DJ Liddy, our very own DMG's DJ Liddy.
DJ Liddy. Shout out to DJ Liddy, man. I did not set this up. I know Liddy personally, but she just happened to do it. That's crazy.
Shout out.
Thank you guys. Crazy. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for tuning in. We're super excited about the platform.
That's hilarious.
Tina, you try to cheat, I get 2 numbers for 1. Y'all right?
Right. They both commented.
Right. But hey, Liddy still got it though.
That's cool. Shout out Liddy. She'll be here on Friday.
Hey, yo.
Feel Good Fridays with DJ Liddy in the building.
That's crazy, man.
All right. Back to the draft. What was the inspiration? What made you say I'm gonna open a bar?
So I would say back when the iPhone 11 came out, roughly, Apple started doing some real shady things. So the way I looked at it was like, if Apple shut down tomorrow, I don't really have a business, because technically my business is dependent on Apple, on Apple products,
on their function.
Right.
Yeah.
See, now I'm a lot, I do a lot of more things, but at that time I was heavily invested on really just somebody walked in with a Samsung. I'm like, sorry, man, I don't fix those. I wasn't really invested into that. I was really, really, really heavily invested in iPhones. So Apple, with the iPhone 11, what they did was, if you changed their screen on the phone, it was like it's
over for it, right? I think some of the insurance.
No, nothing's wrong with the phone. Everything's fine. What happens is now a message pops up. So the message says, they try to put a shady message on there to scare the customer. You know what I'm trying to say? To make them feel like we didn't do our job properly, and
or like
they should have went to Apple.
Isn't
right.
Par,
So when I seen that, and then I see a lot of things that was going on in the background, a lot of people don't know about. There was a big lawsuit that was called the right to repair. For phones. It happened even within the mechanic field, where mechanics all got together and they sued and did a big lawsuit. What was called the right to repair for mechanics, where every little shop in the corner should have, they were denied access to parts for vehicles. So it was a monopoly.
Absolutely.
So Nissan, Toyota, Honda, the big dogs had all the parts, and you couldn't get access to it at the time. Yeah. So they did a big lawsuit. They sued them. It was called the right to repair. The Supreme Court, did it in their favor. So now what happens? It forced all the big dogs to open up the parts to all the little guys.
Yeah, fairness.
Right, it was fair. So every little shop, corner shop, and all that had access to fair prices for parts, so they can, make a living.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of the same thing happened with the phone repair business, and the phone repair business won also. So, but Apple is real shady. They always come up with new ways to make it harder on the third-party repairs. So when I start noticing that, I'm like, dang, you know what? What if Apple comes up with something that I have to shut down and I can't do repairs anymore, So a little paranoid, I'm not going to lie. So I kind of said, man, you know what? I'm going to venture off to something different. And that's what kind of caused me to think about opening up the draft and a bar, going into the bar business. Yeah. And I kind of said, you know what? I know that, there was some stuff involved in that they were open. I said, damn, I would love to own that one day. And I kind of told myself, this is what I'm going to do, set the goals, and I achieved it.
Yeah,
for sure. Which was once I learned it though, that it was no different than Apple, it was a monopoly in the end of the day, because a liquor license is no different than a driver's license.
Yes.
You don't own it, the state owns it, so they can suspend it, fine it, revoke it, do whatever they want with it.
How'd you end up in Bristol in that location? That was like a prime location. You right there. Once you get in Bristol, coming off 49.
Well, my phone store is across the street from it. So
I remember. I was over there. I came over there.
I seen that side, and I kind of said, you know what, I would love, here, and it was big enough, it was good, and I said it's a perfect spot. A lot of people told me, hey, don't do it in Bristol. They're terrible people. They're gonna do shootings. They're gonna do that. You're gonna lose everything, and da da da. So I think if nobody ever gave me those messages, I probably would not have opened in Bristol. But because they gave me that challenge that. This is what's gonna happen.
You already got the phone store. You're operating out of Bristol, so
right. I know them.
I know them.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know how they are. They're good people. So I'm like, okay, cool. So you think that this is what's gonna happen? Shootings and killings and stabbings and all that crazy stuff. I said, well, watch this. And it was a goal that I achieved. I checked off every goal I had in Bristol when I opened up the draft. And I had people telling me, man, this is the safest I've ever felt. I don't come out to bars. I can only come to here. Like, I don't do the bar scene. I don't do that kind of stuff. But I make sure I put the money out to make sure everybody was safe. So, and Bristol, shout out to Bristol. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all held y'all part of the bargain. Y'all definitely did.
Yes, sir.
For the most part.
Yeah, shout out to Briz. They always show love. What are some of the big differences you've seen immediately going into, operating a bar versus operating a phone repair store? Other than the obvious.
Other than the state. The biggest difference is the phone shop is mine.
Yes.
Can no government agency. The city can't tell me in Bristol. The city of Bristol, who are 100% opposed to having that scene out there. I had in the background, though, a lot of people don't know, I fought with the city every week. They want to shut me down every single week. I fought with the state because the state listens to the city. Whatever the city says, the state goes. I fought with the city and the state over and over again because they don't want that kind of image in Bristol, Violin, or Millville. As you can see, any bar that pertains to any kind of DJ nights and all that does it consistently, they end up getting shut down.
Yeah,
a lot of it is self-inflicted though.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I seen, I understood what a lot of bars did wrong, and I did the opposite. But the biggest difference is I plug. The phone stuff is mine, man. That's me. There's not a license you could revoke. You can't revoke me as a human. You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
But when it comes to a bar license, they can revoke it, they control it, they do whatever they want. What's up, brother? But I think that's the biggest difference. You actually own something opposed to you're renting something. You're leasing it. That's the biggest difference, for sure.
What are some things that you had to do to basically keep it running, keep the bar afloat? What are some obstacles you faced in dealing in the bar industry?
Good question. To keep it running, man, there's it was gonna run regardless, but I just personally tapped out. I took myself out of it, but there was situations where you first get into it and you don't understand the business because you just get into it. But I definitely had some properties and things like that I had to sell. I sold some properties and stuff just to accommodate the bar for sure. Maybe that's probably the biggest thing I did that I could say that I had to do.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice to in the beginning.
Would you do that again? Yeah. Would you do it again? Would you take that venture again with the bar?
Yeah, I would. I will for sure. And it's funny that we say that because I'm actually like
you heard it here first, guys.
It's funny you say that. Pull all the good because, I'm actually on the table, and I know only like a handful of people know about this. I'm actually on the table to take over Cheers.
Okay.
That's
a wonderful location.
Right. So, it's nothing is official, but that is something that I'm on the table with. Am I fighting with myself with it? 100%. Okay. Am I pulling myself in and out from it? Yes. You know what I mean?
Whatever it is.
I am.
Whatever it is that you move forward with, please just
tap us in, man.
Right. Yes.
We're 100% available with anything that you need, promotions, marketing, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Yes.
So you're getting back into the bar industry. You must have missed it.
But differently though. But differently. If I do it, it's gonna be different. Okay. I don't want to do DJ nights. I don't want to have security. So sorry, y'all. That won't happen. I want to bring y'all something different where you're gonna dress to impress, feel good, go in there for Valentine's Day. You're gonna choose this location to go there with your wife or your significant other, and you want to go in there, have a good time, eat, and drink. Priority first is to eat. The food is going to be your priority.
Okay.
Then you'll drink a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not drink then eat.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be different if I do it.
Okay. So you have so many different ventures in the works. Let's pivot a little back to iRide because I know it's the newest thing. Can you actually explain what iRide is for the viewers that don't know what it is?
iRide is no different than Uber and Lyft. But what I threw in there is a little mix of your cab companies, you know, because Uber and Lyft do not accept cash.
Okay.
So your cab companies, your local cab companies accept cash.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of figured, you know what, let me blend both of them together. You can actually pay with cash. You can pay with card, like Uber and Lyft, but you got to book it. You can't call like a cab company. You do have to book it. That's so funny
you just said that. I actually seen a cab in Millville yesterday or early today, and it actually had the Uber light up thing on there.
In the cab?
In the cab.
Right. They probably was doing both then.
Yes, I was so blown away.
They was doing both.
I was like, you got to do both.
Yeah, they were doing both.
Right?
That's actually smart.
Yeah.
So let me get their number because you might as well do iRide for all that. It is that mixed into one.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Absolutely. Get us some promotional materials that we can definitely hand out because we could definitely assist you with that. Especially when I seen that cab, for sure.
I definitely will, for sure.
Absolutely. What inspired you to step into the rideshare space? What was it that made you like iRide is just so random? When you jumped out the window with it, I know you was working, like you said, you worked on it for 8-9 months, but we seen it when you presented it to the world. So it's like, what was the inspiration?
I think it's I kind of looked at it as not for. I love all my employees, you know, but getting into business, there's inventory. There's a lot of things people don't understand. There's inventory. Mm-hmm. There's overhead. There's rent. There's bills. You got to pay your employees. You know, you got to deal with losses when something's not ordered properly. You got to deal with so much. Something's defective. You know, if something's defective, I don't return it back to my vendor. You know, I just take the loss on it. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I already have that. I want to make my life easy, more simple. Going into Cheers probably does the opposite, but you know, outside of Cheers, that's not nothing that's in stone. So that's why, you know, iRide to me is there's no overhead, there's no employees. I don't have no employees. They all work for themselves. You know, everybody's their own, you know, their own bosses. They work whatever hours they want to work. If they want to work not, you know, this whole week, they want to take off the whole week, they're not my employees. They do whatever they want. As long as they're doing it professionally while they're with me. You know, you still got to represent me the way I represent myself. And that's all I ask all my drivers. But, you know, getting into that is kind of why I wanted to relax. You know, I look at iRide the same as Uber and Lyft. It's no different. You know, I did my research on Uber and Lyft. We're talking about multi-billion-dollar companies.
Yes, sir.
And all they do is provide you a service to drive, get you from A to B, A to C, you know, back and forth, however it may be.
So how is it that you're in the works of it now, being as though you dropped the app, you have drivers? What's the hardest part about engaging customers and getting them to trust you with iRide and just building the customer service brand?
Realistically, is not hard.
How do you go about
it? It really is not hard because I'm blessed to have a good foundation. I'm blessed to have, you know, the customers that I do got now that started with iSell into iPlug into the draft. You know, I'm blessed to have that core.
Absolutely.
You know, my customer base is huge, and I'm blessed that that, you know, God made me in a form of honesty. Yeah. You know, because everybody knows, you know, if you know me personally, you dealt with me personally, you know that I'm honest. You know, I don't try to take people's money. You know, I don't. Money is not a thing for me. Money is the only reason I try to make money is not because I want to, it's because I have to.
Yeah, neither. Yeah.
If you don't make money in this world we live in this system we're born into a system where you have to make money. Unfortunately, if we wasn't born into this system, I wouldn't be trying to make no money. Yes. You know what I'm trying to say? I only make money because I have to, not because I want to. So I think that's the difference between me and a lot of people. A lot of people want to make money. Yeah. They wanted this. They want materialistic stuff. They want all this. You know what I mean? I do it because I have to. Yes. And I don't do it on a level where I overdo it for myself. You know, I do it on a level where I can give to my kids. I want my kids to be able to have better.
That was actually pivoting right into my next question.
Yeah, I was about to say, so what is it? If it ain't the money, what you do it for?
What's the legacy that you're trying to leave? What is the legend you want to leave?
Realistically, it ain't business. You know, business is only the system we're in. So when you're born in America, you're born in a system. Either you're going to accept it or you're not, right? So I've learned to accept and understand the system I'm in, but I don't accept the roots of what they want.
Yeah, it's just a mode of transportation.
Right.
It gets you where you want to go.
Like realistically, man, you're born in America. If you're born in America, you are born to live worse than someone who's an immigrant that comes from a different country. And I say that because those that come from a different country don't come in here to be employees.
They're gonna be bosses.
They don't come over here they want to live the American dream.
Yeah.
The American dream isn't to be the best employee in the world, right? So, but the thing is that when you're born in America, you're already born into a system that's going to make you the best employee you could be.
Yep.
It's going to limit your thought process. You're born into a system where it's going to make you think a certain way, move a certain way, and live a certain way.
And end up a certain place.
Yep. Right? So eventually, I thank God I've never been an employee mindset and never. So, it's just recently to maybe 8 months ago when I really learned the truth about America and the truth of how the school system is not the truth. It's all a lie. It just builds great employees.
Or prisoners.
It's just a filterization. It's gonna filter out great employees from people who they're just like not gonna be nothing in a sense. That's how they look at it, right? So this is why and my kids know. I'm real honest with my kids. My kids don't go to school to, learn whatever. As long as they know how to read, as long as they know how to write, and as long as they know math. Because obviously in the system, you got to know how to count, right? So,
just skills, basically. You go to school for the skills and
learn the basic skills. That's all you need. Everything after that, it's just you falling into a system that they want you to fall into.
It's a condition, either school to the workforce or school to prison. Which one you want?
Exactly. Yep. So end of the day, my kids, the foundation I want them to be is business owners. I don't want them to be workers. I don't want them to have the school mentality where you have to go to school till you're about 17, 18 years old, spend another 4 to 6, maybe 8 years in college. Next thing you know, you're in your mid-20s in debt because you went to college.
And still might not
and I know, maybe 90% of the people 9 out of 10 people I know went to college and today are doing nothing that has to do with what they went to college for.
Absolutely.
And are, in debt with college for no reason.
No reason.
Right. Like, so I always told myself, I'm going to go to college for what? I always told myself, I don't know if college what. I went to college once. I actually signed up for it once to see what it was about. Whatever. They were supposed to just send me for a tour and whatever the hell they were doing. I went. It was a tour they gave me in Cherry Hill. And next thing you know, I get a bill over the mail for like $3,000. I'm like, what the hell is this? I thought y'all was just showing me the place. You signed up and you never came. I said, no, the hell I didn't. Like, well, you signed the papers. I was like, yeah, well, you got me. You know what I'm saying? But it's all a scam. It's all about money. And at the end of the day,
I don't think education is for everyone, but I do think we need to educate ourselves in other ways, like you were explaining.
Right.
School is okay, but we need the actual fundamentals. That's what's going to make us survive. And in this world, we need to stop trying to survive. We need to actually be living.
Right.
For sure. So having those tools, Brandon, those tools available to us, whether it's through our parenting, whether it's them doing a workshop, whether it's them getting a certification. College may not just be for everyone, but at some point we have to learn how to live and not just survive.
Right. Think about it. If you want to be a doctor, you could be one of the best doctors that could be, available to the world. And we're in a country that says, if you don't go through this system, you can't save people's lives.
You won't be a doctor at all.
You can't.
And we see it living proof that people do it all the time.
So
without the
it shows that's just proof right there that we're in a system that don't care about people. It cares about profit. Absolutely. It cares about power.
Absolutely.
Because if it was a system that cared about people, it would be a system that would say, you're a doctor? What degree you got? Well, show me what you got. Let me see. Because if you really could save people, because that's what I care about, I can bypass all that degrees and bachelors and all that crazy stuff. And I'll put you in the forefront because we want to save people's lives.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing a better job than that person who went to school, why wouldn't you be frontline?
A lot of people go to school.
They don't give you that. It don't matter, it's just, if you don't go through that system that controls you, because by the time you finish the system, though, it's a system for a reason. It's going to brainwash you and filter you out to think and walk and talk a certain way.
Absolutely. And then I also think it has to do with the culture of just going to school and different things like that, because you go for your bachelor's, you're capped at your bachelor's.
Right.
You don't get paid anymore unless you go back to school. Now, when you get your master's, they cap you at your master's.
Right, you go.
You can't make this amount of money
because you're
a doctor.
There you go.
And then it's a continuing cycle. And by the time we all get all of these degrees, we're 60 years old and ready to retire.
Right.
We're
the
just
passion
getting
for the work.
started.
Yeah, don't have the passion for the work no more.
Talking about retirement, if you're the perfect citizen, right? You dedicate your time to college, to high school, everything, all the way to college. You're the perfect citizen. You know, you don't get in trouble. You don't do none of that. Perfect citizen you can talk about. Now you're going to retire at what age?
65.
65. 60 to 67, roughly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you think I really want my kids to go through this system where by the time they call freedom, they got to be 67 years old, 65, 60. And then they can go enjoy the life and get about what, $1,200 a month? And the system spits back at you $1,200 a month. Like, hey, thank you for everything you did. You're 67 now. Here's $1,200 a month.
Can't fucking walk.
What? $1,200? like, you know, like,
I got my,
like,
how we made it.
Right. You think I want my kids to go through that?
No, not at all.
You know, no. I told my kids no. You know, my son's 15 years old. I took him out of high school. He's done with high school. Nope. He's working at iPlug. The vinyl store is his. I gave it to him.
Money.
Beautiful.
It's his store. You know, I said, this is what you're gonna do, because why are you gonna waste your time going through a system just to revert back to what you're doing now and waste your time in life? We're not doing that for a piece of paper and a pat on the back for a system that is corrupted as hell. I said, nah, it's not happening.
Yeah, you know, you actually blessed to not have that employee mindset early on.
Right.
Whereas there was some people, they really have to, like me, I had to fight my way out of it. I literally worked at the same job for like 14 years. And it's me doing t-shirts that got me out of there. I got to the point where I'm late from break because I'm over at my office making shirts. I'm getting suspended from working all this stuff. Right. And then I actually did the math on it. Like, I'm making $25 an hour. I can charge $25 a t-shirt. That's going to, you feel me?
And then the body take you about 15 minutes to do a t-shirt. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you add that up to an hour, you're way better off doing it for yourself.
Do the math.
And you're breaking yourself away from that same system that's there to lock you in, lock you down, and exhaust you. You know what I'm trying to say?
Tired. 40 hours a week.
40 plus hours a week.
Set schedule.
40 plus hours. Then they put the carrot to you, you know, time and a half, you know, for overtime to force you, you know, like, nah, man. And nothing against, you know, because I have employees, so. But I'm honest with, they know how I feel. I don't hide this from my own employees. They know how I feel. Absolutely. You know, so, but ownership isn't for everyone either. Yeah. You know, so everybody does have their, you know.
Absolutely. I believe ownership isn't for everyone. Some people do like to be followers, and do like to be employees and live the easy route and leave work and go home.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's not for us, and that's why we are sitting here in this room.
Yep. But that's why for my employees, I make sure that they come to work and they don't feel pressured. You know, I mean, pressured, you got to do the right thing. You know, you have to, they know I have my minimums, but you know, in the end of the day, they know I'm not one of those that micromanages. So I kind of let them do them. You know, give me a reason for me not to allow you to do you, in a sense, not the opposite. You know what I mean? So I treat them real good and I let them, you know, feel good.
I think it's like our goal, especially with our children, for them. And I also see the goal of my parents also, because they also worked hard. And it's like they didn't want us to live the life they lived. And now we don't want our kids to live how we had to live and how hard we have to work.
Right.
So now we're setting a different precedent.
Right.
Where we are owners. And that's the mindset we should all be moving forward.
Right.
We are owners. We aren't just workers, but we are owners.
Right. But really, man, I got to say this.
Go ahead.
You know, I have to say this, you know, shout out to everybody on SSI, on food stamps, on Medicaid. Shout out to them. You know why? Because we kind of get into a position where we let the system control our minds and we look at them like they're freeloaders or they're not doing too much. They're not doing anything. But realistically, they're living better than us because they should. You know, God didn't put food in this earth for us to have to kill ourselves to eat. God didn't put water on this earth for us to have to kill ourselves to shower, to drink water.
Absolutely.
God didn't put electricity on this earth for us to have to kill ourselves to get electric. You know, these things God put on here for us because God wants us to thrive.
Yes.
You know, it's here for us. You can grow it on soil for free. You know, you can grow it on soil for free. You know, electric you can make. You know, there's these things are here for us. You know, and sometimes we're so caught up in the system of working because we're brainwashed as kids to think that you have to work in order to survive. You have to. So this is what we're born into. And shout out to them, man, because you know what? I'll get in their shoes any day.
Quality of life.
Yes, quality of life. The thing is, I was telling my brother, you know, workers that live by the system know their coworkers more than their own family. You're working 40 plus hours a week. How much time do you really have for your own family at home? Right? So technically, eventually, if your commitment is to that job, that company for a long time, those that are like-minded like them are next to them and they know them and build a better relationship with them, their own co-workers, than their own family at home. Meanwhile, those that are in Section 8, Medicaid and things like that in their home, they build way better, they have a way better relationship with their immediate family, their family at home and friends and things like that than those that are co-workers. And, you know, and I think that's what matters more to me. So, you know, if there's an alternative to live life better.
Skip middle class. That's it. They say skip middle class.
An alternative to live life better.
Yes, they say.
Right. You know, like, shout out to them because, you know, I've been there, done it. You know what I mean? I've been on Medicaid. You know, I've been on all that. You know what I'm trying to say? And I've been on the opposite too because, you know, it depends. If you let the system control your mindset, then it depends what side you're going to be on, you know. But now today, the way I am today, I'm not left or right. I'm not Republican, Democrat. I'm equally what's right and what's wrong. Right. So shout out to people on, you know, welfare. Shout out to people on SSI. A lot of people try to down them. No, they're living way better than anybody who's not.
So that's a launch pad. What I've learned is you don't want to be in the middle. You don't want to be middle class. You either want to be rich or you want to be broke. That's going to be your best quality of life. Yes.
That's why you're in the middle.
Everything.
It's called middle class for a reason because there's a lower, upper, the middle. The middle always gets compressed.
It's faster to go from broke to rich and rich to broke than to just be sitting in the middle class, just dwelling and trying to find a way out because you're literally locked into routine. You have a job, you know, you have, you know, your bills and all that stuff. So it's kind of like,
absolutely.
I ain't gonna say I would rather be poor, but
but technically, is it really poor?
No, because you're getting benefits from the.
There's people that the quality of life is rich, right?
It depends what you consider rich, right?
You spend time at home,
right?
Yeah. So everybody's
materialistically, you might consider people poor,
financially,
but spiritually, you know, with your own, they're rich in that sense. Where someone working 40 plus hours is not rich in the sense that they're rich with family quality, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just to piggyback off what you were saying, the quality of rich is so much different. When we're going to work 9 to 5 and we can't take any days off, is that rich?
Right.
Or we're using all our PTO time and we're trying to beg for our boss to let us off. Is that rich?
Right.
Because you can't maneuver your life the way you want to or have that freedom.
Right. Exactly.
And whatever your version of rich is, hey, by all means. But for me, it's more of the quality of life and my legacy that I'm leaving for my children.
There's two different riches. There's a materialistic rich and there's a family rich.
Absolutely.
If you're not, you're falling, like you said, middle class. Middle class really falls in the middle of being materialistically rich, which being materialistically rich gives you both. Yeah. Because you go have all the material you want and all the family time because you got all that going, right?
Entrepreneurial rich.
Right. You got both going for you. You know, and to be realistic with you, you know, I'm stuck in the middle class. You know, I'm stuck where I feel like you know, I'm not working for no one, but I feel like I'm working.
You're overworking.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in that ownership. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and this is why I kind of went with the iRide because to me, iRide is what's really going to push me back, you know, up into
it'll get
the
you
next level,
self-employed quality into the entrepreneur,
where I'm not consumed too much with this and that and third. You know what I'm trying to say?
Work on your business, not in your business.
There you go. There you go. Right now, I'm working on and in my business.
Absolutely.
Nonstop. Everybody knows it.
Eventually, At our last podcast, we were just talking about how we kind of got thrown into leadership. We didn't want to be thrown into leadership, but we ended up having to be thrown into leadership because we had to be the face.
Right.
Instantly. Sometimes not everybody wants to be the face or wants to work it for longevity. So we are always looking for different hosts, different entrepreneurs, anyone who wants to come and start a podcast, or if they want to run this podcast, we're super open to having some people come on and do this for us. But right now, we are the face.
Yeah.
Right. You got to put the boots on.
And then we still got to go to these meetings. We got to join these quote unquote clubs.
Yes.
We got to rub elbows. Y'all don't know how many people we rub elbows with on a regular basis.
Daily basis.
Like, yeah. So, and that would, I'd rather focus on that than do this. But this is fun. I enjoy doing this. So I ain't even going to lie.
You got to. Until you get someone who could efficiently do what you do on your level here, you have to be the one to do it.
Absolutely.
But that's true ownership, though.
How's it feel being in a leadership position? What does leadership mean to you? And what are the ways that you lead the people that you have under you or behind you?
It feels good. It feels good to know, right, that a lot of people look up to me, right? To be real, I haven't really utilized that 100%. Like I can, and I will. It's just a lot going on.
You got to sink in too, man. When did it sink in yet? Or
I think it's starting to.
Okay,
it's starting to, and because I'm real humble, man. Yeah, I really like to be behind the scenes. It was hard for me to do this. I'll be honest. It was hard for me. A lot of people, and I feel bad because there's a lot of requests I got to do this kind of thing, and I'm just like, I probably agreed to it, never did it, or kind of was like, nah, because I really don't like being like this. I don't like being the front center of, I'm kind of humble. I like being, I just like action. I don't like doing this kind of stuff. But once you hit me up, I'm like, damn, it's just too many, too many of these requests. And I'm like, man, I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to lie. There's not one lying bone in me. It was not on purpose, but I definitely forgot about it. Not that I don't value it and stuff like that. Yeah. It's not that I don't value what you guys are doing. It just shows that I don't value this kind of a thing.
Attention.
Right, right. I don't value attention. I don't value doing these kind of things. And it was ironic that I was speaking with someone in Violin, and my employee called me, and they were like, yo, can you work with me on this price? And I was like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, for sure. And then he was like, yeah, man, I got these shows I got to do today and stuff. And I'm like, oh. Yo, thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it because you just reminded me of what I got going on today. And I thank God it happened because I wouldn't want to let you guys down, and I'm glad I'm here. And it would never have been intentional, but I got so much going on that and I'm not into kind of attention or kind of things like that. So I kind of like just about action, moving forward and making things, laying the foundation for what I'm moving forward doing. But but shout out to you guys, man. It's dope what y'all doing, man. Like I really like it.
We're walking in our purpose. Our purpose was to provide a platform for any creative material that anyone in our county, state, country would want to do. We don't have a lot of freedom when it comes to our creativity. Most of the time, something is either followed by something or is geared to a certain perspective. Here, we just provide open creativity.
Right.
Yeah, we're honored to be able to shine a light on the people in the area. We love our area. We love Cumberland County. Right. We spent the last 2 years getting to know everybody. We've been turning over rocks. We've been going to events. We've been reaching out to people. And then just to be here and be able to show you guys everything that that we love about the area is awesome. So that's was a big thing, was us to be able to provide a voice, for people that for people that's working.
Absolutely.
What are some things that you have planned coming on down the line? What are some goals that you have set, or where you see yourself going?
I mean, the only things I really got set is just keep growing our ride. And
is an app for that? You got an app for that, right?
There's not like an official app.
Yeah.
I'm like half. It took me 8 to 9 months to even get to where I'm at to even like launch the website.
How do they book?
It's like a web app.
Yeah, this is if they were to book iRide, how would they do that?
So you go on www.iridenow.com. There's a company already out there. So my idea was iRide in general, just iRide. I never knew there was a company already existed that's called iRide. They were based out in Florida. But the thing is that they're not even active, so it's a business that maybe someone started the idea, they did the same maybe way I did.
Yeah,
they launched into the app store, and who knows for whatever reason that it's there, but it's not there.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of people that downloaded it thinking it was me.
No action.
And there's nothing, it doesn't exist no more, but it's still there. So iRide on the app store is not me.
Okay.
That is not me. It's called iRide Now. It was iRide, but I had to put that now because iRide already exists. So and I already started the whole brand, and I did everything before I even eventually noticed that. So it's technically iRide Now. You can go to iRideNow.com, and you download. There ain't no download. You just you create an account, whether you want to be a driver or you want to be a passenger. And if you have any questions, you can call me 856-896-4514.
Perfect.
And I'll definitely answer all your questions.
Perfect.
I might have to fill out an app. I got some free signs.
Yeah, man. I got drivers making over $100 a day, so it's pretty cool, man.
That's really
I'm happy.
To see. I'm very proud of your success and everything that you're doing. I like to see it from the beginning to the end. So it's super cool to actually witness it. Just give me your flowers while you're here.
Appreciate it.
We get to see what it looks like to start and to maybe not make it all the way, to start and to maybe sometimes fail or change your venture and still be successful.
Right.
So you're a pillar in the community when it comes to business, realistically, because you're the one taking the risks.
Yeah.
So we're super proud of you, super excited to have you here on VoiceBox Radio.
Absolutely.
It is an honor as always.
Yep. I appreciate it. How you guys having me. Thank you.
What keeps you motivated? What motivates you in the morning?
It's my kids.
Absolutely.
I got 6 kids. I should have 10 right now, but I don't. I got 6.
I want 6 kids.
I only got 6 kids, man. I'm mad that I only got 6. I'm 37 with 6 kids. I want more.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's my kids. My youngest is 3 years old, and I have to keep having kids because the moment I don't have kids, the moment I hit the brakes on life,
Yeah.
So without kids, I don't really have a motivation.
That
and
makes sense.
It's just realistically the truth.
And I can't show you that the world don't revolve around you, and that really puts the pressure on. So
yeah.
Family. How do you balance family life versus business?
I don't think you could balance it.
And agree.
Just being honest, when you're in business, you can't balance it. You could try your best to balance it, but you can't, because you could try to put something in certain perspectives to work a certain way, and business is so. You can't really predict business. It's unpredictable.
Yes, it is.
So if business is unpredictable and you're doing your job properly as an owner,
it's still
unfortunately it's going to reflect your personal life. So your personal life will be unpredictable too. There could be certain things you have planned personally, but your business life can, your life, it could throw it off, and you really can't plan for that. So it's just a balance you have to accept. You have to learn how to live with it. You have to adapt to it. And the moment you can do it properly, you kind of balance everything out in life.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for that. Before we wrap up and get to wrapping up, we want to ask our signature questions, of course. Let's start with, what would you tell your 16-year-old self right now?
At 16?
Yes, sir.
All right. So at 16, my daughter was 1 year old.
Same. Crazy.
Yeah. At 16, I had my daughter at 15. Ebony's Cruz, love you, baby. Her birthday was yesterday.
Oh,
happy birthday to my oldest. She turned 22 years old yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Love you. She's in Puerto Rico right now enjoying herself with her man. So
that's wonderful.
If I could go back to 16 years old, you're saying knowing what I know now?
Yes, sir. What would you say yourself?
I would have been working at ShopRite. I would have went straight into, obviously, the mindset that I have now. I would have just did what I'm doing whenever I started it. I think I was 28 when I started doing what I'm doing. So if I was 16, I would have started what I did at 28 at 16.
Cut that time.
Did you have these ideas during that time when you were 16?
That's good. That's a good question. That's a really good question. I didn't have a business mindset.
Okay.
Now, I didn't have a business mindset because I didn't know it was a business mindset at the time.
He just didn't have a worker mindset.
I had the same mindset that I couldn't work for other people. The mindset never changed, and I never understood it. I don't think I understood at that time. I didn't. So if I would have understood business at the time, if I grew up around that, I would have known before 16.
Like you're doing for your son.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have known way before 16 that business was for me, and I would have never went to, I would have never went even maybe remotely close to anywhere probably I did in school, and I would have just went straight into business.
Absolutely.
If I grew up with that foundation, of understanding it. It took a lot more for me to understand it, to know how to grow into it and kind of blossom and become that. But if I was 16 and I know now, I'd be doing what I'm doing now at 16 for sure.
Sure. That's great. You want to dig into our last question?
Yes. Where do you see yourself, your brands, your businesses, your family? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? And what's the end goal? What's the future hold for you?
The end goal, 5 to 10 years. I just see myself going wherever the path, because I'm in the, electronic side of things, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever path they choose to go, it's my job to follow.
Gotcha.
Because it's not something I'm doing. I'm just whatever the path they pave and decide, I have to follow suit.
Technology's
right.
You're going
so
where?
Right. Yeah. So wherever technology goes and things, I have to adapt and do whatever they're doing. Right. Because I'm not the forefront of it. I'm just, upholding and breaking the chains in the back end and giving people opportunities that they don't give, when it comes to their devices. So when it comes to that, I have to follow whatever they do. Absolutely. 5 to 10 years, whatever they do, I'll adapt to it and make it work. When it comes to iRide, 5 to 10 years from now, I want to be no different than them. I want you to Google iRide and be like, I want somebody 5 to 10 years from now to say, I want to be like I did with Uber and Lyft. Yeah. They're going to look at iRide and say, I want to open up my own thing because iRide's making multi-billion dollars.
Yes.
So somebody has to Google my worth of my company and want to do the same thing I'm doing for Uber and Lyft.
We want to in the same conversation, Uber, Lyft, iRide, all together.
But that's just the scratch of it. Realistically, man, within the next 5-10 years, that's business aspect. What I really want to do outside of business is really get people to come together. Mm-hmm. There's too many Republicans and there's too many Democrats. Everybody's too brainwashed, man. Mm-hmm. You're not a Republican. You're not a Democrat.
You're human.
You're not a government body. If you out here screaming, I'm a Republican, you're a government body, which you're not.
Absolutely.
They don't pay you money. You don't work for the government. Don't act like you do. If you're out here pounding your chest that you're a Democrat, no, you're not.
No,
because that's a government body. You don't work for the government. They don't pay you. Stop acting like you do. There's this thing called the Constitution. This is who we are as the people. There's Republicans, there's Democrats, and there's the Constitution. Republicans and Democrats are representatives of the government. They're supposed to do what we want them to do.
Yeah.
Us as the people supposed to represent the Constitution. No, you're not a Republican. You're not a Democrat. You are a constitutionalist.
People. That's a conversation.
This is what you have to be. You have to be we the people first. Look at the Constitution. What America's all about. It starts with we the people, not we the Democrats, not we the Republicans. We the people. Mm-hmm. We've allowed the government to separate us so bad that even when Trump became president this time, if you look at the numbers, America has been basically split in half. It was a near half split where Republicans and Democrats were nearly split in half. So realistically, not to get into, political stuff and like that, but my goal really is to get people to be the people, be the people, be together and understand you're not a Republican or Democrat. You can get together. Unity. You got to get together, man. We the people. Well, they say we're better together.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to rock with that.
Before we close out, I got a quick question. How can VoiceBox Media Group, VoiceBox Radio Mission, VoiceBox assist you on your mission?
I forgot to ask
with this right here.
Yeah,
it's kind of what I said. Yeah. So before we even went live and all that, it's kind of what I was saying. Like you guys, I love what you guys are doing, but I think you guys need to touch on more political things. Realistically, you can grab a big crowd because what's the dude that got shot in Charles Kirk, right?
Yeah.
He spoke some good stuff. He spoke a lot of bad stuff, right? But his problem was he didn't understand how to put people together. He was too far one way. And I think that what you guys can do.
He was divisive.
Divisive. You can't be left or you can't be right. Yeah. And if you're trying to put people together and you're trying to put unity and you want to build unity, you got to respect all angles, right? I think if you guys touch on those subjects. They're sensitive subjects and things like that, but you can't. That's the whole point of a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do it all the time in comedy because they're allowed to.
Who's interested in talking on the political views?
Yeah, we'll create a show for that. So we provide a platform.
Yeah,
anybody can come here and do a show. So we decided to do this show just to to shine the light on people that's going on. But we do want to build up the platform where we're bringing on people that can discuss stuff like that,
right?
And attack the big issues. Right now, as a launch pad, we're solely shining the light and providing visibility. Absolutely. But we're getting down. We're going to get down. Yeah. Especially, we gotta get dirty. We definitely
for
dirty.
Sure. It's dope what you guys are doing. There's business owners you guys bring on here, and you do the advertisements for them and stuff like that. But I think you guys need to just tap in more into that. Where it's like
absolutely.
Well, if you are out there and you're looking to
where's Darius at when you need him?
No, man. Nah, bro.
Please feel free to reach out.
No, not Darius. No, I don't care. I don't go on social media to talk about it, but we're here in real person. I'm not Darius. No, right. His views is too bad. They're not right. They're not aligned with the truth. They're not.
Here we go. No. It is VoiceBox Radio.
Darius, if you heard it, bro. I'm not going on social media saying
another episode.
I leave things for social media.
You know he full of shit.
Nah, he don't.
Another great episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Comment below. We super appreciative of our guest, Bebe Cruz.
Thank you. Appreciate
in the building, live and in person.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, VoiceBox Radio. We will see you next.